welcomes Tyler Perry. NBC Tonight. These guys are smashing up stores with sledgehammers.
Do you think you saw anything?
No. She saw one of their faces.
She lied to me.
Find something that'll break her, or we charge her.
Chicago PD, new next Wednesday on NBC and Peacock.
Deal or no deal
is back. But this time, it's Deal or No Deal Island.
You're in it for the group, but you're in it for yourself.
I'm here to win.
Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal Island, February 26th on NBC.
Live on NBC 12. This is News Watch 12 at 10.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Jukic. The first tornadoes ever recorded in Wisconsin for the month of February caused more than $2.4 million in damage. The tornadoes ripped through Rock County on February 8th. The twisters killed some cattle and hit 30 homes. The damage estimate does not include agricultural impacts to silos, barns, and equipment. One confirmed tornado near Evansville was a high-end EF2. One Evansville man is rebuilding after the tornado took the roof off his barn.
We had to stay with my daughter in Stoughton because we had no power, so it was cold.
While no one in his family was hurt in the tornado, like many in the area, he still has a great deal of property damage. A tornado that touched down near Judah, Wisconsin was an EF1 with peak winds of 110 miles per hour. The tornadoes were first Wisconsin experienced in February since at least 1950. Conrad, this has been an unusual winter. Tornadoes in February and tonight snow.
Yeah, snow is finally back, right? We've been wishing for a little bit more snow. We are in the Northwoods, right? So we need the snow. And that's exactly what we're going to get, folks. Taking a look outside right now. Winter weather advisories have been posted, and they are in effect till around 6 a.m. on Thursday for our county, and then, of course, south into Wausau. Same story into Adams County. Even Green Bay, look at that. They're not left out this time around. Back into winter, right? We just saw springish weather, 40s, 50s, record high temperatures, and even some tornadoes. But now we're turning the page, and we are back into winter. More of what we should be having for this time of year. A little bit of rain, though, just south of the Wausau region. Same story into Adams County. You folks can see that green. Of course, that's indicating some rain. Not going to be lasting long. That will be transitioning into some snow as temperatures continue to fall. But earlier today, once again, near record highs all over the region. Lows even mid-40s all over the area. Look at Stevens Point, 47 degrees earlier today. Green Bay was at 41 degrees. And then now we're talking snow, right? What a winter to remember. Average highs around 26 degrees, average low around 5. So we are not going to get near a low, but we are going to get some snow overnight tonight. So please slow down. Jessica?
A hometown victory celebration for Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, took a violent turn Wednesday as gunfire rang out in the crowd. Authorities say one person is dead and at least 22 others were injured in the shooting celebrating the team. The police chief says the response was immediate, with more than 800 officers already on scene for the parade. 3 law enforcement officials briefed in this case tell NBC News the shooting is believed to be criminal in nature and not terrorism. The mayor says all Kansas City Chiefs players, coaches, and staff are accounted for and safe. Police have not identified the suspects, but 3 people were detained. Concern and confusion on Capitol Hill today after House Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Turner raised the alarm over a serious national security threat without saying what it is. Turner's calling on President Biden to declassify the information. 4 sources with knowledge of the matter tell NBC News it relates to a Russian military capability. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan offered reassurance but no details.
I am confident that President Biden, in the decisions that he is taking, is going to ensure the security of the American people.
White House officials say the matter's serious, but there are ways to contain the threat without triggering mass panic. Sullivan's set to brief top congressional leaders tomorrow. Assembly Republicans passed tax cuts that would spend down Wisconsin's budget surplus. Tuesday, legislators approved a plan to reduce income tax collections by roughly $1.4 billion a year. The tax cuts would help retirees, married couples, and parents. The largest of the tax cuts would expand the state's second lowest income tax bracket, meaning people who earn more money would pay lower taxes. This is the third time Republicans have approved tax cut legislation after Governor Evers vetoed their last two proposals. The state's surplus stands at $7 billion. A Senate committee held a public hearing on a bill relating to the sale of counterfeit and unsafe lighters. A counterfeit lighter means a lighter that infringes on an unauthorized use of a copyright or patent. Use safe is defined by any disposable or refillable lighter that does not comply with the American Society for Testing and Materials International Standards. Pittsville Fire Chief Gerald Miner says lighters are causing fires, injuries, and even deaths.
Fire and EMS agencies in the state are well versed at dealing with fires related to lighters. Most of the time, they also involve children, often with tragic results.
Today, with the rise of online purchases, these dangerous knockoff lighters are cheaper and easier to purchase than ever. More than 300 million imported lighters entered the U.S. in 2017 alone, and more than 70% of models tested in the U.S. failed.
While a lighter is not a toy, we know they fall into young hands. A counterfeit or non-safety lighter makes it even easier for a child to use them. Lighters are tools and need to be managed and manufactured with the same safety standard we would apply to any power tool.
Miner said if it's predictable and it's preventable, and the problem has been identified. This bill prohibits the sale and free samples of any counterfeit lighter in the state of Wisconsin. This includes counterfeit lighters purchased online and transported into the state. Marshfield Utilities has completed the construction of the Southside PFAS treatment temporary facility. Construction began on the PFAS removal facility at the Southside Booster Station in October 2023. The facility addresses the PFAS contaminants found during testing in 2022. The 4 wells previously taken out of service are back online as of February 9th, with PFAS being filtered out of the water in the treatment facility. The Marshfield water supply system is now operating at complete capacity. A Republican-authored bill has recently been approved by the state assembly that would allow more teenagers to work jobs without obtaining work permits. In 2017, former Republican Governor Scott Walker signed a bill that eliminated work permit requirements for 16 and 17-year-olds. The new bill eliminates the requirement for 14 and 15-year-olds. The proposal does not change state law governing how many hours minors can work or prohibit them from working dangerous jobs. The bill now heads to Governor Evers' desk. Pickerel Fire and Rescue held a meeting last night. On the agenda was a vote about splitting rescue from fire. But just minutes after that vote, the president of the department said the vote doesn't matter. And now the future of the joint Pickerel Fire and Rescue is in limbo. Our own Dan Hagan has the story.
Gene?
Yeah.
Dawn?
Present.
On Tuesday night, around 30 people packed into Pickerel Fire and Rescue Station 2. The main issue? The potential split of rescue from fire. It's an effort spearheaded by Kathy St. John, the president, and Lynn Verhagen, the EMS director. But before discussion on that began, Treasurer Val Striz brought up that nearly $44,000 was spent on a new truck for just Pickerel Rescue, Inc., even though technically Pickerel Fire and Rescue are still together.
I should not be dispersing our funds to another entity until the separation is legal. I do not want to be responsible for this.
While the money came from the rescue fundraising account, Striz said she wasn't sure if the purchase was legal. The purchase was made at the request of Lynn Verhagen. Striz also brought up another request from Verhagen, a request Striz called misleading.
I got this in my mailbox here. It says Val, pay this bill regarding Nashville contract. But upon examination, I have some issues with it. It has nothing to do with the Nashville contract. It's for the breakup of the fire rescue.
Later, Verhagen made comments about why she wants to split rescue from fire, with a long list of grievances.
Every meeting is a pissing match with the fire department towards rescue.
And in a business setting, this is called a hostile work environment.
Firefighter Wayne Schmoody gave his reasons why fire and rescue should stay together.
There needs to be checks and balances, and that's why I think the more people you have together, even though sometimes it can be difficult.
Striz said the split would cost both departments more money.
I just don't see enough good reasons to separate except for personality conflicts, and I think that we just all need to get along and work better together.
Members of Pickerel Fire and Rescue then voted on the split, with 2 in favor of splitting and 9 opposed. St. John was not able to vote as president. She told everyone at the meeting the vote was meaningless and that attorneys will make the final determination.
Per our attorney, it doesn't matter. Why'd you vote then? Why did you vote? Because they insisted, fire department insisted on a vote.
The meeting ended with public comment, where many expressed a desire to get over differences and keep Pickerel Fire and Rescue together. Reporting in Pickerel, Dan Hagan, Newswatch 12.
Thank you, Dan. A new study is identifying ways to ease depression symptoms. Coming up, we'll hear what can help alongside therapy and medication. That's after Weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
Want to test drive U.S. Cellular's network free for 30 days?
Here we go.
I wonder if U.S. Cellular lets me stream in my rec room. Yep, it's working.
Test drive U.S. Cellular's award-winning network free for 30 days.
Race to savings at Menards. Find your style with Patriot Lighting. Shop the largest in-stock selection of interior lights with over 350 lights, priced under $100. This Gina LED wall light is $34.99. Brighten your space with Sylvania True Wave LED bulbs. True Wave closely mimics natural sunlight and features superior dimming control, helping you see and feel better. Right now, get a $10 rebate when you spend $40 on True Wave LED bulbs.
Race to savings now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that's made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now get a new F-150 with 1.9% APR financing for 72 months. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
What are you guys doing?
We're excited for the American Marine Boat Show.
Yeah!
Join the excitement for the absolute best boat and pontoon deals you will find anywhere. Only at the upcoming American Marine Boat Show in Shawano. We're matching deposits up to $1,000, or we will beat any competing price by $500. Don't be left out in the cold. Get to the American Marine Boat Show, February 22nd through the 25th, Shawano.
Today, we seize the day, because at U.S. Cellular, you can get an epic Samsung Galaxy S24 with Galaxy AI.
Even me?
Look under your chair. That's right. Get the Samsung Galaxy S24 on us, U.S. Cellular.
And welcome back, folks. I'm meteorologist Conrad Sapinski. A good evening, right? Hopefully you're having a great night so far. Get ready, though. Don't be surprised. Tomorrow morning, we're going to get some snow. It's going to look white, right? Very different than what we've been seeing here in Rhinelander and all over Wisconsin the last several weeks. It felt like spring. We saw 40s and 50s, but now, whole different story. We got a little bit of snow moving in at the moment. Down by Wausau and then south into Adams County, we are still looking at some rain sprinkles. Temperatures are well above freezing for now. That's not going to be lasting very long. It's going to continue to really change over into snow within the next hour, hour and a half max, and then everyone will be getting in on some snow. Look at this heavy snow, though, right by the Twin Cities, this darker band of blue. That's some moderate to heavy snowfall with total snowfall accumulations of around 1 inch per hour falling right now in the Twin Cities area. That's going to start to move our way. Very quickly, though, it's going to be moving out. So by around 4:30 a.m., things will be clearing up, and then most of the snow, pretty much big cutoff, and then no snow, right? So we're going from light to moderate snow, pretty much to no snow very quickly by those early morning hours tomorrow. So by that morning commute tomorrow morning, we should be pretty good, but roads and sidewalks will be snow covered, folks. So please slow down, leave a little bit extra early, and just leave that extra room whenever you are driving in front of that vehicle, pretty much in front of you, and same story behind you. Now, this is how much snow we're looking for additional on top of what we got so far. It's a little pocket of heavier snow. That is because there's a little heavier band just south of Rhinelander, pretty much just east of the Tomahawk area, where snowfall rates are at around ½ inch an hour for now, and that's why they're going to get just a little bit more snow than what we're going to get all over the region. But overall, though, pretty calm winds. Not much going on. No strong winds anywhere around. Besides down south, we have Mosinee, and then, of course, Stevens Point. Wapaka has wind speeds at around 5 to 10, even up to 12 miles per hour. But that is not too bad. Just, oh boy, wait till tomorrow early afternoon. Check out these wind gusts. We're looking at 30+ miles per hour widespread. Even Antigo, 32 miles per hour. Down south, we got Stevens Point, Mosinee at around 30 mile per hour wind gusts early afternoon tomorrow. And then things will slowly start to calm down. Now, temperatures, folks, are starting to dip below freezing, which means everything is slick outside. Every snow, all that snow that is falling is sticking around, and it will continue to stick around all over the area. Look at this temperature trend, though. We're finally in winter, right? Back into the Northwoods type of weather. For a few days, right? Thursday, 26, 19 for Friday, and then 23 by Saturday. That's more near average. Look what happens, though. A little bit more of a warm-up. No surprises here, right? It's just been that type of winter where just 30s, 40s been all over the area. We're still looking at snow sticking around here. Overnight lows will be well below freezing, but still mid-30s will be back by next week. For tonight, though, 1 to 4 inches of snow, and we are looking at some breezy conditions. Temperatures in those mid-20s for tomorrow. Mid-20s outside, morning flurries, and then decreasing clouds. It will be windy as well. Our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show cold temperatures stick around this week right through the weekend, and then 30s back by next week. Jessica?
This unseasonably warm winter has impacted tourism and winter sports, and it's also close to setting records. According to Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, we're heading towards the warmest winter in Wisconsin's recorded history. The National Weather Service defines winter as December, January, and February. Wisconsin's 2-month average of temperatures from December and January was 11.1 degrees above average. The FDA has approved the first treatment for severe frostbite. The treatment is iloprost injection, marketed under the brand name Arlium. The agency says it can reduce the risk of finger or toe amputations. Frostbite happens when the skin and underlying tissues freeze, which limits blood flow to the area. Severe frostbite can lead to permanent damage and requires amputation. The drug's active ingredient is a vasodilator that opens blood vessels and prevents blood clotting. It can be used up to 3 days after injury. When a wave of depression hits, a new study suggests physical activity may help significantly. The research published in the BMJ suggests many types of exercise like walking, jogging, yoga, and strength training can be just as beneficial as therapy when it comes to treating depression. The study analyzed data from 218 studies with more than 14,000 people. Researchers found exercise can serve as effective treatment alongside options including therapy and medication. Depression affects between 10 and 25% of the population, but it's estimated that about half of those who suffer receive treatment. The Rhinelander boys swim team is preparing for a big meet. Coming up, Drew Chelly spoke to the Hodags, who are gearing up for state after the break.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's President's Day weekend blowout is here. Get up to 10 Benjamins in savings without a single Washington down. Get this 5-piece living room set for $19 a month, plus 5-year special financing with low monthly payments. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
Here you go.
Russell, I swear I've been seeing you everywhere.
I've been busy.
Do you know a local teen who demonstrates exemplary character and is a role model in our community? I'm Newswatch 12's Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jeff Waller. We'll be hosting this year's YMCA Teen Character Awards on April 14th. Please tell us why a teen demonstrates the Y's core values.
Teachers, counselors, coaches, neighbors, family, and friends are encouraged to nominate a teen by filling out a nomination form.
Our local teens do so much. Sometimes that work gets overlooked.
That's right, Jeff. This is an excellent opportunity to acknowledge that work.
Nominate a teen today.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's President's Day weekend blowout is here. Get up to 10 Benjamins in savings without a single Washington down. Get this 5-piece living room set for $19 a month, plus 5-year special financing with low monthly payments. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Coming up on Newswatch 12 today.
Hear from the Chamber about the happenings in Rhinelander.
And watching some snow that will be moving in. How much can we see? More when you tune in on your Thursday from 5 to 7 a.m.
The Rhinelander boys swimming team captured the Division II state championship last winter, and they're back to try and do it again. The Hodags captured the sectional championship for the 6th year in a row this past weekend, and now return to states as one of the top contenders for the crown. We paid a visit to the Hodags as they are just 2 days away from competing for a second consecutive state title. Rhinelander returns to state once again, hoping to win another championship. For head coach Jenny Heck, she knows her swimmers are well trained and well prepared for their biggest meet of the year.
They've been all swimming at big venues before, whether it's a club meet or other meets, so they know what it's like to have the pressure of a bigger meet like this. And those returning swimmers were hungry. They know how great it was to win that championship last year.
Just days before the state meet, the Hodags are focused on making sure everyone is fresh and healthy. But the team is also using these final practices to hone in on certain skills and make sure the mistakes are limited come Friday.
I'm practicing a lot of relay exchanges and stuff just to make sure we stay legal and don't DQ us, so we can make sure we get lots of points off the relays, and then just a lot of team bonding and just making sure we're all working as a team.
Senior Zaka King was recently named the GNC Swimmer of the Year and was a big part of last year's victory. With the younger group this year, King and some of the other upperclassmen are hoping to prepare the young guys for the loud crowds in Waukesha.
I feel like it's really loud, so if the younger people can somehow block out the noise, cover their ears, maybe it'll help them focus on their own race instead of what's going on around them.
This winter, the Hodags have swam against some of the state's best. For the coaches and the swimmers, it has allowed them to prepare themselves to take on the top teams at state.
I think it just really helped us get used to having a little bit tougher competition instead of just showing up at state and that be our first tough competition of the year. Now we've seen a lot of big teams that are fast.
The Hodags head to state with hopes of bringing home another title. With one banner already hanging above their pool, this group hopes to bring home another. The Wisconsin Wendigo just finished up a home series against the Janesville Jets and are now gearing up for a road series against the Jets. After sweeping them at home, the Wendigo are looking to continue their hot streak and will try to keep the ball rolling this weekend. Let's take a look at the division standings. The Wendigo are at the top with a comfortable lead, the only team that has more than 60 points. After them are their previous and next opponents, the Janesville Jets. After that, it's a close race between the Minnesota Wilderness and Anchorage Wolverines. Chippewa Steel sit in 5th. Rounding out the rest of the standings are the Springfield Junior Blues, the Fairbank Ice Dogs, and the Kenai River Brown Bears. High school boys hockey postseason is here. Some teams have already played in playoff games, while others will get to start very soon. Here's a look at some of the upcoming games for the Division II, Section 2 side of the bracket. First off, the Great Northern Conference champions, Tomahawk and Lakeland Union, will each be in action. They'll be tomorrow night. The Hatchets hosting Rhinelander, the T-Birds hosting Pacelli. After that, it'll be last year's GNC champ and state qualifier Mosinee. They'll be hosting Northland Pines. Wapaka will be hosting Anago. Puck drop for all of those games will be tomorrow night at 7. The Wisconsin Badgers women's team was in action tonight, hosting the 14th ranked Indiana Hoosiers at the Kohl Center. Sitting at 11-11, the Badgers are looking to get above 500, and a win at home would put them there. Unfortunately for the Badgers, they couldn't get it done in Indiana, escaping Madison with a 68-54 win. The Badgers will be back on the court Saturday when they head to New Jersey, where they will take on Rutgers. We'll be right back after the break.
At Len's Truck, we're all trucks all the time. Nobody has a better selection of used trucks. Ford, Chevy, Ram, GMC, over 800 of the best used trucks money can buy. Buy now and get the highest trade-in value ever at Len's. Go to lenstruck.com. That's lenstruck.com.
Len's Truck. Len's Truck. We got the trucks at Len's Truck.
There's no telling what's in store with Wisconsin Lottery scratch games. It's paradise. In this $5 game, if the total for any one roll equals 7, you win the corresponding prize. You can also win double or 5 times the prize, up to $50,000. Instant scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery. Odds are you'll like them.
Haugum Law Firm specializes in estate planning and elder law. You know why to protect your hard-earned assets, and they know how.
Haugum, Alan Haugum. Nice to meet you. How do you, Haugum?
Haugum Law Firm. I'd be more than happy to set you up with your complimentary consultation. How do you, Haugum?
Haugum Law Firm can assist you with your asset protection, estate planning needs, probate, trust administration, and nursing home Medicaid. Haugum Law Firm knows it's important to educate the community. Call us today to learn more. How do you, Haugum?
The Diocese of La Crosse televised Mass, Sundays at 6:30 a.m. on this station. Please join Bishop Callahan and the priests and faithful of the diocese Sunday mornings at 6:30 a.m.
Find can't miss events in the North Woods on the events page at WJFW.com. Join the crew on Up North at 4 Thursdays as they take a look ahead at events happening this week in the North Woods. The North Woods events page is sponsored by Merrill Steel. Who doesn't love ice cream? Enter the Birthday Club contest at WJFW.com for your chance to win a free single scoop of ice cream from the country store of Eagle River. Watch Newswatch 12 today, Monday through Friday, to see the lucky winner of the day.
Hey guys, check out all this delicious, locally roasted coffee.
That's why the best way to start your day is with a cup of coffee from Eagle River Roasters.
Newswatch 12 today wants to get that coffee to you through the Mugshot Monday contest.
Welcome back. This year, Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday fall on the same day. Today, a local faith leader combined both of the day's meanings into his message. Founder Chris Kemp leads Nativity Catholic Church in Rhinelander. His message combined reflection for Ash Wednesday and love for Valentine's Day.
Asked the kids this morning, it's always about the heart, isn't it? The exchange of gifts between people and stuff. But that's also the way it is with Jesus. We're always asking for him to show us his heart so that our hearts can be shaped towards him.
Father Kemp says as Catholics enter into the 40 days of Lent, it's a time for reflection and repentance in preparation for the celebration of Easter. We'll be right back after the break.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up. Toyota.
Get 4.99% APR for 60 months plus $1,500 cash back on Tundra Hybrid. Toyota. Let's go places.
Sure is nice to have my 3 older kids home to visit. Oh yeah, I love coming home. I miss having soft water.
That's why I bring my laundry home on the weekends.
It's so much better for my hair too, but you wouldn't know anything about that, Corey.
Well, that's why my hair looks so nice and moisturized.
What do you know about moisturized hair?
Well, having 2 older sisters and a brother who only showers a couple times a week helps.
Well, actually, 72 years of treating water in Wisconsin is our family story. You kids are pretty well versed in water.
So let us make your family's water better today.
What? I'm in love with whoever made this country fried steak. Can I borrow a pen?
Love letter?
5 meals for under $10. Only at Perkins.
9 million acres of forest, 1,700 miles of continuous shoreline, 4,300 lakes, 12,000 miles of streams, more than 300 waterfalls, 15 counties, 2 time zones, and 1 area code. Welcome to the Upper Peninsula. Welcome to 906 Outdoors. For your connection to the UP, watch 906 Outdoors Saturday mornings at 7:30.
Do you know a local teen who demonstrates exemplary character and is a role model in our community? I'm News Watch 12's Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jeff Fuller. We'll be hosting this year's YMCA Teen Character Awards on April 14th. Please tell us why a teen demonstrates the Y's core values.
Teachers, counselors, coaches, neighbors, family, and friends are encouraged to nominate a teen by filling out a nomination form.
Our local teens do so much. Sometimes that work gets overlooked.
That's right, Jeff. This is an excellent opportunity to acknowledge that work.
Nominate a teen today.
It's a fact. Problems with water in your basement don't get better with time. They get better with SureDry. SureDry professionals have been keeping basements dry and worry-free for over 25 years. Schedule your free estimate today.
Dear all-wheel drive, let's show the road what we've got. Yours, Toyota.
Get 3.99% APR for 60 months on a new 2024 Camry. Toyota. Let's go places.
This is a trusted space.
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 Conrad and Drew, Valentine's Day isn't just for lovers. Animals at Chicago's Brookfield Zoo celebrated the love with treats. Gray seals chowed down on some Valentine's treats. The bottlenose dolphins weren't left out. They jumped out of the water to get some of the love. Look at him go.
Aww.
Isn't that incredible? Look how far. Wow.
Wow, we got to go up there and like.
He's athletic.
Oh, look at that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They ain't going to be left out.
They're excited. They're like, give me these
in.
treats.
Wow, that's like a nice toy for them now.
Yeah,
oh,
look
even,
at that. The
wow, look at that. That is really cool. Yeah, I haven't been there in like years. It's been like 5, 6 years. Right? Good time.
Oh, look, the cockatoos, I think that
right?
was.
But like, you know what came right in time for Valentine's Day? The snow, guys. You know, I don't know if you guys like this or not, but I'm enjoying this. You know, we are in northern Wisconsin. We should be getting a lot more snow than we've been getting. We're looking at around 2 to 4 inches of snow overnight tonight. And of course, winter weather advisories have been posted. They are in effect till around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then it's going to stay cold. Tomorrow, 26 degrees as a high, but it's going to be very windy. Feels like temperature close to 10 degrees. Please put on your layers and don't forget your shovels.
Hopefully this will help some of the trails out there.
A little bit.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. Get a free ottoman with this sectional. The President's 3-day doorbuster deal starts Saturday at Slumberland Furniture. Up to 60% off list. Get a free recliner with this reclining sofa. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
'Cause all that I want is for you to be happy. And give me a chance to show that you can be. Well, open your eyes and you'll see the way I see. 'Cause all that I want is for you to be happy with me.
Want to test drive U.S. Cellular's network free for 30 days?
Yeah.
Use this app. Want to do it even faster? Here we go.
Oh, wow. U.S. Cellular works great out here.
must still have 5G here, too. I wonder if U.S. Cellular lets me stream in my... Rec room. Yep, it's working. Hey, thanks for the lift.
Test drive U.S. Cellular's award-winning network free for 30 days.
Do you know a local teen who demonstrates exemplary character and is a role model in our community? I'm News Watchdog's Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jeff Fuller. We'll be hosting this year's YMCA Teen Character Awards on April 14th. Please tell us why a teen demonstrates the Y's core values.
Teachers, counselors, coaches, neighbors, family, and friends are encouraged to nominate a teen by filling out a nomination form.
Our local teens do so much. Sometimes that work gets overlooked.
That's right, Jeff. This is an excellent opportunity to acknowledge that work.
Nominate a teen today.
We are the Looney Lutherans, wacky, crazy Lutherans. We serve Jell-O on the side.